Hey everybody, it's Brian. I wanted to put a quick video out. I'm going to do an unboxing of a very special device, something that I've been waiting for about a month. About a month ago, I was invited to join the testing group for this particular device and kind of got delayed a little bit due to the typhoon in China and everywhere over there. So it just arrived yesterday, and I have not had an opportunity till today to make this video. This will not go public until the company actually makes the official announcement. So I'm just doing this ahead of time and giving you some details on it. And then as soon as the company makes the official announcement, I will post this video for everybody to see. And so here we have a package from our friends at DwarfLab. This is the next generation dwarf. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of DwarfLabs. The Dwarf 2, the Dwarf 3 are my favorite digital telescopes. I use them all the time. And now to add to my collection, I have, which camera am I looking at? The Dwarf Mini. Very excited about this. As you can see, still packaged up. And it is not a big box. So I wanted to open it with all of you. Real quick, just for those of you who are curious, the box is about 9 inches by about 7 inches by about 4 3/4 inches. So again, you can see this is not a large box at all. Very excited to see what we got here. So let me grab a knife here and let's get to work. Let me switch cameras. Let me get you a better angle here. All right. This has actually got delayed even longer. It made the trip from China to Chicago area, which is about 7,000 miles. It made that trip in about 7 days. Or I'm sorry, in about 2 days. 2 days. And I live about 170 miles south of Chicago. If you look at the map of Illinois and you look smack dab in the middle, you're going to see Decatur, and I'm just to the east of Decatur. So about 170 miles south of Chicago. Well, as I said, it took 2 days for it to travel 7,000 miles from China to Chicago, and then it took 8 days to get from Chicago to my post office box. So was a little frustrated by that, and that was at no fault of the team at DwarfLab. That's all on DHL and their however they routed it, but it was still a little frustrating. So here we go. We're going to open this up, and as soon as you open it up, those nice pictures are staring right at you. And I'll pull it out. And when you turn it around, there it is. That is the Dwarf Mini. I am so excited about this. Adding this to my collection. Yeah. I'm going to open this up here in just a minute, but I know you guys are going to want to know specs. So let me tell you what some of the specs are. All right. So for the telephoto lens, and this does have, even though it doesn't look like it, even though it looks like it's a single lens, it's not. It's 2 lenses. So the telephoto lens is a 30 millimeter aperture. It has a focal length of 150 millimeters and the equivalent focal length of 1016 millimeters. The sensor is the IMX662, and it has a shutter speed of up to, get ready for this, 90 seconds. So it has a shutter speed of up to 90 seconds. Sorry about that. Took a little bit of time to get my laptop and everything up and running and everything, all the cameras set up, and then I got a low battery message, so I had to go get my charger. So yeah, so on the telephoto lens, we're going to be able to do up to 90 seconds. There's talk that can get pushed even further. So more to come on that. The wide-angle lens. The wide-angle lens has an aperture of 3.4 millimeters, a focal length of 6.7 millimeters, and an equivalent focal length of 45 millimeters. The shutter speed on the wide-angle lens is up to 30 seconds. Again, there's talk that could be pushed a little bit more, but we'll have to wait and see on that. So yeah, so we've got that. Those are the main specs that I know everybody is looking for. The battery capacity is a 7,000 milliamp, which is about good for about 4 hours. I personally never run just solely on the built-in battery. I always have an external battery pack that is fully charged, so when I take my dwarfs out, they're already fully charged, and then I have a battery pack that I hook up to them, and so I don't worry about the battery time that much because I know I've got plenty to go on. The memory, this has 64 gigs of memory built in, so yeah, those are the main specs I know everybody's going to look for. And so now I'm going to take the plastic off of this and we're going to get it out and have a look. So let's see here. Oh, I see. It's got a magnetic enclosure on it. Oh, wow. Got a cleaning cloth. We've got the instruction book. And then we have the Dwarf Mini. Look at that. Also in here is the sun filter, and I'll open that here momentarily. And then we've got a USB cable. So I'm going to take this, I'm just going to set this over here. I can't even begin to describe how excited I am to see how small. Just for comparison, so there is the Dwarf Mini. Here's the Dwarf 3, so it's a little bit taller, but then when you compare, I mean, look at that. That is just amazing what they have done, what they've put together. So put Dwarf 3 back over here. Power button, charging port, computer interface.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
My Alexa. The standard tripod connector at the bottom. So yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in so it can start charging. and then I am going to get it connected to the app so that we can actually see what this is going to do. So first thing I'm going to do, so I don't know if you can see it on there, but it does show that it is charging. So while I let that charge for a few minutes, it shows it's already got 3 of 4 battery. So I'm just going to let it charge for a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. In the meantime, I'm going to open up this There is our solar filter. This is magnetic held. So unfortunately I can't show anything today. We'll not get first light today here in central Illinois area. We've got storms, which we've needed. Can't complain too much because we've had a severe drought lately in the area, so we have needed the rain. I just knew that the rain would show up when the Dwarf Mini did. So, but that's okay. All right, so what I'm going to do, and I will, let's see, yeah. All right, so I am using just an inexpensive Android tablet. I prefer the Android ecosystem over iOS. I'm sorry guys, I'm not an iOS fan. I use everything Android. And the Android tablets are so inexpensive that you can afford to go out and buy. I have a separate Android tablet for each of my digital telescopes. Even the one that I'm not going to mention on here that you know, that you can see stars with. But I'm not going to mention the name of that one on here. But I do have one of those in my collection. And like I said, the Android tablets are so inexpensive and they work really well that I just have a dedicated tablet for each of my digital telescopes. And then that way I don't have to worry about going back and forth in the app between the different devices. I just know that each one has their own tablet. So this tablet here is going to be now for the Dwarf Mini. So I'm going to get that set up, and I'm going to try to have this where I can show the screen of my tablet at the same time. So I'm opening the DwarfLab app. Alright, so now it's asking to connect. Of course, it's not going to find anything because we're not turned on. So, alright, I've pushed the button. We've got the circle. Alright, so I'm going to press connect. And we're going to see what it finds. There it comes up, Dwarf Mini. So I'm going to connect here. Now I know a lot of people online and during the test have been saying they have problems with, once they connect, it says that they need firmware update and everything. Okay, it wants to activate. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, just going to exit out of this, and we're going to connect. Let's see, I'm going to go back. Yes, cancel the firmware upgrade. Alright, let's see. Okay, so I'm back. So had a little trouble with the activation. Come to find out, it was something in the new update for the app. And that's the whole reason why they send out the test units and they ask some of us users to test things out and find out if there are problems. That way they can fix them before it ends up in the end user's hands. So, but as you can see, switch back over here, I was able to activate the dwarf successfully. So again, it was just a problem with the app. When I reverted to the previous version of the test app, I was able to activate with no problem at all. Okay, so I'm connected. So now let's open this little guy up. There he is. Now, if I'm being honest, one thing I'm not super excited about, definitely not a deal breaker by any means at all, but one advantage I will say that the Dwarf 2 and Dwarf 3 have is the power charging port. On the Dwarf 2 and Dwarf 3, that charging port is on the bottom of the base, and so when the Dwarf is rotating around, you don't have to worry about the power cable getting pulled out or anything. But I can see, because that base on the Dwarf Mini is so small, that there really was not room for it. So I totally understand why it's on the side. Just please be aware that that is something you'll have to look out for in the future. Is just where that power cord is. But otherwise, you can see it moving there. I'm going to try this solar filter. Okay. And you can see, let me turn this back to the camera so that you guys can see. So there you can see the two lenses. So you have up here in the corner, you have the small one, which is going to be your wide angle lens. And then down here is your larger one, that's going to be your telephoto lens. So I'm just going to turn this towards me so I can see. And there's the solar filter. Just snaps on magnetically. Pulls off with no problem. But you can feel it when it attaches. So you can have confidence that it's not going to get blown off or anything when you're out doing solar observing. But yeah, so that's where the solar filter goes. And for now, until I get a case, I'm going to put that back in its little protective sleeve that it comes with. So for now, and again, I can't get first light tonight because of the storms in the area, but I am certainly hoping in the next couple of days to be able to get out and to be able to start doing some testing. We've got the Comet, so very excited to try to get out and get some pictures of the Comet with the Dwarf Mini. So yeah. So that is the Dwarf Mini. More to come. I will get some more videos and everything out once the skies clear here in Illinois and I'm able to get out more. If you guys have any questions or comments or something you want me to try with the Mini, please let me know. I'll do my best to get to those. So there's only one thing left to do at this point, and that is to give the Mini a name. So let me see here. Go close this for the moment. Take it back to the home position. They don't have a home position button on the app, but that's one thing I'm going to suggest to them, is that we get a home button added, and that way you can just push one button and it will close up and go to home. So that's one thing I'm going to make a recommendation on, and we'll see if that gets added to the app. But yeah, I'm going to be excited to get out and start doing some testing with this. So let me spread out here a little bit, make some more room. Let me change my camera. There we go. Now I've got some more space. So it was very easy to come up with a name for the Mini. So I have my Dwarf 2, which is R2-D2. As you can tell by the icon and everything on my gamer tag and everything online, I'm a big Star Wars fan. So, and my Dwarf 3, I did a play on C-3PO, and I called it D-3PO. So coming up with the name for the Mini was fairly simple for me, and it's going to be called Dio, which is another one of the Star Wars droids. So I will have R2-D2, D-3PO, and now this is going to be Dio, which is one of the smaller droids from the latest trilogy. So yeah, so there you have the Dwarf Mini. Again, I can't get out and do any testing right now. I'm hoping to soon. We're hearing that the official announcement of the Mini is going to be coming sooner rather than later, because it's getting harder and harder for Dwarf to keep it a secret. So we are, as soon as they give us the official announcement in the test group and they tell us that we can start posting stuff, I will get this video posted on YouTube and my website, and we'll be able to start testing. If you want to see any of my images from dwarf telescopes that I've taken in the past, which I will, full confession, I need to update my website and get some more pictures on there. I've got a lot more pictures that I've taken that just have not gotten posted yet. But the link to my website is in the comments or the information below, brianmaple.com, and that's Brian with a Y. So yeah, so again, if you got anything that you're wanting me to test out with the Dwarf Mini, make sure you just let me know, and I will do my best to get that done. So in the meantime, thanks for viewing, and see you out underneath the dark skies, I hope. soon. Take care.